You already know what it is. It's Benji LynnYahweh, the host of the podcast. That's Your Opinion. And we are here on episode 9. I can't even believe episode 9, y'all. Man, and thank everybody who has been chiming in and leaving comments and supporting and sharing. Hey, we see you. We really appreciate the love and support. We couldn't do it without you. Okay, so we have a lot of love for our fans. So today we're gonna start off by talking about some very important topics. I want to introduce my co-host, Usheka. You've seen her before. You already know how she rocks, and you already know how she rolls. And then, if you look to the bottom, we have Mr. Antonio Anthony German, and he's been on here once before as well. So we're gonna start off with our first question, which will be with Ushika. And on this show, remember that's your opinion. So hey. Do women of color face skin complexion issues? Ushika, do women of color, do we face skin complexion issues among other women of color?
Most definitely. Majority of the women do be in competition with skin color, but I say we all are beautiful, every skin color.
Mm-hmm. Right. What about you? How do you feel about that, Anthony, Antonio?
I believe because of society, they try to push one particular complexion of a woman in a sense to where they want to try to label one complexion as the most dominant. But in my opinion, I feel like, as you know, with women, as long as they feel comfortable in their own skin and have self-confidence, I feel that that can naturally kind of put them in a position to feel self-loving about who they are as an individual.
Right. Is that something that you experienced, Yushika, yourself when you was growing up?
Well, back in the day growing up, they used to be big on light skin. If you was yellow bone, rare bone, you was more popular than a dark skinned girl. So I had experienced it a little bit, but now as an adult, I don't. I'm popping. We all popping. We all beautiful. I agree with Antonio when he says that because that's what it is. Most
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Okay. Okay. But did you ever experience it, Antonio? I mean, because I know you didn't always live in the United States. Tell us a little about how it was before you got to the United States. How was your experience?
For me, my experience was beautiful because the one thing I would say is overseas, as far as one dominant complexion like how it is in America, that doesn't exist because with fashion shows, especially like Italian fashion shows, you have different models with different complexions and from different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So when those models over there, they grew up in an environment to where, however, the pigmentation of their skin is, they're accepted for that. Likewise, like how like in the United States, they want to kind of just use one complexion, which is like the light skin complexion, to
Mm-hmm.
where they want to try to make that as the dominant, which naturally breeds like jealousy between other women. But uh, once females really have a grasp of who they are as a individual woman, and they pretty much flaunt it and just pretty much don't worry about people who may not like them for their complexion, then that's when they'll break barriers because you can't you can't knock how you was born, but just like how my mother always told me, you play the card you dealt.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna take it way back. I mean, way back down Calvary. Back when slavery existed, I can't seem to just fathom. I just can't seem to understand why it is that people even have this issue with complexion when why would the darker skinned women, the ones that are like this, be upset with the light are jealous of the light-skinned women, and why would the light-skinned women be jealous of the dark-skinned women when, like you said, we had no control over that? Because see, in slavery, it ain't our fault that they wanted to take the light-skinned ones in the house, and that was the ones that they took in the house, and the other ones had to stay outside. That's not a card that nobody dealt. You know what I'm saying? And just like they just took control over everything, like our children separated us. We don't know who our family is. You see what I'm saying? Because really and truly, they were selling our children all over the
Right.
place. You see what I'm saying? So we can't get mad at each other because of each other's complexion, because of we were forced to lie with whoever we were put there to lie with, whether we was outside or whether we was inside. You know what I'm saying? I might not have wanted to be with none of these people on this plantation. As you know, if I would have been a slave, I would have been trying to, see what the slave over there across the street was doing or something. See what I'm saying? But they wasn't allowed to do that. They was like, control. And so when it comes to skin complexion, I never understood that because I think all skin complexions are beautiful. I have daughters of all skin complexions, and all of them are equally beautiful, and I mean it. So it's like I don't understand it. So we moving on to the next question. And the next question is, why do disputes happen so often when our color gets together? Why do you think that is? Is it ego? Is it misunderstandings? Or what is it? Why is it that when we get together, you know what I'm talking about. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. The barbecues, the clubs, the restaurants, like Denny's, like all that. Why is it when we all get together, it's always a problem? What is your opinion on that, Usheka?
My opinion on that is it's majority of the time when our skin color, our people get together, it's because if it's not the ego or miscommunication or misunderstood, it's because they were talking amongst each other about that person or this person. So now these people all together, this person got their nose stirred up. This one got something to talk about. This one looking this type of way. This one's being too friendly. And they're just all over the place. So that's what happens. I feel like it happens majority of the time.
What you think, Antonio?
I would say egos because it's like egos is a motherfucking boss lady, and what I mean by that is everybody in a family got that one person to where they just have to be the center of attention all the time. And whenever they not the center of attention, they will create an issue to where they just clash with people or sometimes even their own family member. But I think the best thing that anybody could do, like to approach a situation like that, just get to a point to train yourself to let other people, like have they say so. Because when you do that, that allows a broader space for open conversation. But it's like whenever you have like that one person to where they just have to dominate the conversation or the event all the time, psychologically speaking, that dips into like a self-esteem issue because people who full of confidence, whether that be a man or woman, they have no problem talking as much as listening.
Right. I agree on that. I do. For me, I just feel like other groups can get together sometimes in large quantities larger than ours, and they can stay there without the police. And it ain't always the skin complexion thing, because there are times now that, we get together and everything goes well and the police come, and still tell us to go because they're afraid of what has happened in the past or what usually happens. So that,
Right.
because one mess it up for everybody. And that's the part I hate. I hate the fact that we are not able to get together and go anywhere in public anymore without having big security, or you gotta have your gun, you gotta be strapped, you gotta have something, you gotta watch your back. You ain't safe. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nowhere safe. Church ain't even safe. And that ain't even us. You got the people running up in the church, killing people. So everywhere we go now, we always got to look over our shoulder. And that's why it's important, to have that perfect peace when you at home, that perfect person, that perfect environment. Because we catching hell when we out here in the daytime trying to get back to our houses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
But
yeah.
we getting a little bit off topic. But I did value you guys' opinion. Because I feel, like what Usheka said, definitely was a good point, and what Antonio said was definitely a good point as well. So moving on to the next question. The Black American culture, with who America calls black, I call our culture brown. You know what I'm saying? I believe we ain't black. I believe we're brown. Even the darkest, we're brown. Who made that up? Who said we was? You know what I'm saying? I know where we came from. And so at the end of the day, we're brown. So within our culture, why do you think it is? I remember Tupac had said, it's time to heal, our women, and why do you think it is not only with the women, but with the race as an entirety, that when we're out in public, we don't even speak to each other, but yet Black Lives Matter. I've been trying to figure that out for a long time. The same ones that oppose Black Lives Matter, the same ones that when something happened to somebody black, that be on the comment, you giving all this empathy to that person. But the real them out in public will walk right past you and won't even speak, even if you speak and even if you smile. So I'll be trying to figure out why we do that to each other. If you do that, you need to look in the mirror, baby, because you are very ugly and you need to go get fixed. I can't stand people that do that. I pray for you, because you need to find out who you really are, and you're not here to be, rude to people that's being nice to you. When you walk by and you know that somebody spoke to you, especially of your own, compliment you. Even sometimes you may say, "Oh, that's cute what you got on," and y'all just keep on walking. You see what I'm saying? And
Oh
y'all
yeah.
do that to the men too.
Mhm.
Y'all do that to the black men, not just to the black women. So I don't know why we do that, but that is a big problem. Why you think that is, Yuchika?
I think that is because our kind don't want to meet own up to it, but in the houses or around, we all taught to judge off top. And what I mean by that, if you weren't raised in your house to just speak and be kind, when that person give out compliments to you, you're gonna be like, or you're gonna have some rude to say back. So I feel like that's why it's majority of the person, or it's more of a jealous or hatred, but it's taught. It's like I said, it's carried down.
Yeah,
It's not just
yeah.
you get a 3-year-old to wake up and somebody speak to them, they go speak back because they seen other adults speak back. But if you give it to a 15-year-old or my age or a 21-year-old and somebody do it, if they're not used to nothing like that, they're gonna react like that.
You know what to say. You already know what to say, girl. Your opinion, five. Five, just five. Okay, Antonio, tell me how you feel about this host, Shebang.
First and foremost, I agree 100% with you, Sheikah. But the chipping on my side, I think that in terms of like speaking on black people, it's encoded in our DNA, which goes all the way back to the Lynch letters. To those who don't know what the Lynch letters is, Willie Lynch. He was
Mm-hmm.
a slave master that wrote a memorial on how to keep black people against each other versus their skin complexion, light or dark skin. But to answer your question, boss lady, uh, the reason why it's like that is because the the self hatred that black people have has been spoon fed into us from generation to generation after civil rights, to where uh, we don't even recognize that at times we can be our own worst enemy. Because when Dr. King, Malcolm X, and all these civil rights leaders that died, they was pushing at that time like pro black as far as like unity.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the Panthers came out behind them, COINTELPRO, with those who don't know who that is, the FBI, they watered down the Panthers and start framing them and locking them up. And then going back with like how you said, Benji, with Tupac, Pac created Thug Life, which was the hate you give little infants fucks everyone. He tried to create a movement with that, but unfortunately, uh, due to society, they end up getting rid of that. And then I don't know if people see it. Where my shirt, the outlaw life, outline and understanding that loyalty always wins, leadership integrity follows elevation. So each generation, we've always had people who try to unite Black people.
Mm.
And the point I'm trying to make is sooner or later, we got to realize that at the end of the day, we all that we got. We all that we got. And I think the best way to end that self-hatred between Black people is to start pushing positivity in ways that creates unity instead of division.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think like in the music game, it's natural for people to like write songs to where they want to exclude certain people living in certain substandard conditions from being a part of whatever the song's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, whenever I make music, most of my music tends to kind of cater towards like the underdog or people who may not be as fortunate as other people. So that way I can give them a voice. And that voice is to eventually try my best way, as long as I have breath in me, to unite people.
Yes. Right. Okay. All right. Well, I definitely understand that for sure. And that Willie Lynch thing, that's shoot, that's explains a lot. If you have not heard of Willie Lynch, that's definitely something that you everyone must read. So
Mm-hmm.
look it up, factual, all facts. So, with that being said, this is the last
Okay.
question that I'm going to ask about our culture. And and it's why do you think it is that we tend to harm each other more than heal each other? And when I'm saying that like is it something deeper than conditioning, and is it something deeper than pain? Is that why we do it? What is your opinion on that, Usheka?
I think it's more pain.
Yeah.
Today we take pain as happiness, more of us. And what I mean by that is most people don't take time to heal from their pain. They just hop into different character. Every day we wake up, we are not the same of who we are when we went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So we most of the time don't give ourselves time to heal from that pain that we discovered 24 hours or 4 weeks ago. So I feel like our culture just carry it and just keep carrying that barrier until one day, like us, we go break that pain. We gonna want to grow and fix that character that we learned 24 hours ago or 4 weeks ago.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, Antonio. So how do you feel about that?
Me personally, I may sound crazy for saying this, but pain for me has always been something that I use as energy, because one thing that a lot of people may not understand about pain, pain is a double-edged sword. You can use it to self-destruct, or you can use it as energy to transform you into something better. But unfortunately, most people, whether this be men or women, they tend to go about it in a self-destructive way, which is either hurt themselves or try to tear down somebody else. But I know, like, for me, that pain that I went through, I take that pain and use it as a weapon to kind of put that in the music as a way to pretty much fuel people. And I'm not going to just talk about music, but the message that I'm trying to relate to people is, regardless of what situation you go through in your life, as long as you use it as a way somehow to make you a stronger individual mentally, then that's when you go to a new level. And this is some deep shit right here, because this is something that everybody don't talk about. But the one thing with me, regardless of all the shit that I've been through, I take the pain and I use it as a way to convert it into positive energy. Because once you take something negative that's meant to tear you down and you learn how to harness it and construct it into ways to where it can contribute to positive results, you influence people along the way. And that's one thing that I'm starting to see now, boss lady, how a lot of people who've been hitting me up, they was telling me how they like how I reach people. And me personally, I never consider myself a leader. I just simply just wanted to be like a regular motherfucker who show people how to overcome obstacles. And hopefully, like when it's all said and done, anybody who watching this podcast, they can just pretty much take something or the little lessons that I'm giving to kind of use it to make them better instead of bitter.
Okay, with that being said, we have 10 minutes left. So we're going to try to answer these questions as fast as we can. Um, Now, this is a fast one. I know y'all been saying the whole issue about the visa and people getting married, just to become a citizen. So is that something that you would do? Would you marry for a visa, Usheka?
It, it depends on the. I can't say no. I'm not gonna lie and say no.
You wouldn't marry anybody for that came from another country so they could get a visa?
I will for many reasons.
Okay, let's see him. Let
I
me
will.
hear just a few. Let's go. We ready. We
For one,
ready.
it depends on who the person I'm getting. Now, I'm not just gonna say I'm gonna allow anybody to get a visa
Okay.
because you gotta have common sense. So you just gotta have common sense.
Yeah.
Then this purpose of me getting a visa is God sent. So therefore, our purpose together is gonna be a reason. So therefore, I will give you this visa. Now, what's your purpose, sir? Oh, that's how I'm coming about the situation.
Oh, shoot now. What about you, Antonio? Would you marry a little sweet little thing, little something something, so help her get a visa?
I mean, I wouldn't marry her just to help her get a visa. I mean, if I'm talking to her, I could advise her and kind of walk her through the process. But as far as marrying for somebody for a visa, nah.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So how long would you stay with a person, Yushika, if would it be like a contract or would you try to make it work? How would you do that? It would just be strictly business.
Well, anybody that I'm talking to, first of all, and they want a visa, I've been communicating with them for a while. So I know a little bit enough to reason why I'm going to say yes to this visa.
Okay. Okay.
So it would be it would be more for growth for
Mm-hmm.
that person.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't, you
So
can say,
you like Antonio then. You feel the same as Antonio. Mhm. Yep, y'all got the same opinion. So that's tight. I like that because I think I agree. So now we gonna move on because we on a time limit. How would you respond if someone said that they would pay all your bills if you get with them? Would you take that opportunity, Yushika? Or would you just say nah, because it ain't really, love. I don't know you like that. What you gonna say? Oh shit,
you're,
man, that's a lot of dust she does now.
no,
Come on, girl,
no,
talk your stuff.
that's serious. And I'm, that's what you got to know. Cause yeah, no, cause I feel like it comes control with that if they just paying. So
Yeah, it does.
why
Right.
pay my bills and you don't know me?
There's definitely something behind that. What you think, Antonio?
No, I'm gonna pay my own bills. Well, first and foremost, with me being a man, I love to work. So it's just like I'm
Hmm.
not gonna just let nobody pay my bills and I just sit around and be like lazy and shit like that.
Right.
That's not in my nature.
Right.
So long story short, I would say no. 'Cause I would like to get
Okay.
it on my own.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's flip this thing around. Let the ladies know how you feel when we flip it around. Would you be paying somebody's bills?
I
If
mean,
you
shit. I mean,
if you was with that
ladies.
person, on a serious level, since we know you ain't tricking off if it ain't. So if you were serious, would you be paying somebody? Would you be willing to pay somebody's bills?
Ladies, to any and whoever see this video, I don't care what ethnicity you are. If you get to know me and we have something serious the way the chemistry connect, and we have something solid, and it's mutual.
We
If you ever go through a hard time, shit, I have no problem paying your bills because it's not tricking.
y'all heard
It's not tricking if both people have the same feelings for each other.
that.
I agree with you
Shut
on
up.
that part.
What? Okay. All right. I know somebody was raised right. Okay. So we don't have a lot of time. We have 5 minutes. I want to try to get these questions done. So I don't want it to feel like I'm rushing you, but we got to get to the nitty gritty. I want to know, Usheka, could you trust your partner around your friend? I want to know if you walk and you want to go to the store and your friend was at the house and your person was at the house, would you be comfortable doing that? Would you do that?
Yes, I would be comfortable. I would be comfortable because any friend of mine, or I would say me, therefore they would be able to leave themselves in front of my, you know what I'm saying? I'll be able to trust me in front of their significant other or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the time, my friends will be like, hey, I'm just to go to stuff with you. They're
Mm-hmm.
not going to sit at home while my stuff is there anyway. So, but answer your question, yes. I
No.
won't feel no type of way.
Now, Yashika, what type of time we talking about? You talking about you trust your friend you're around your person while you going to Burger King or when you going to work? Like, I'm trying to figure this out.
To the corner store or we going to Burger King, we're going right back to the house. That's understandable. But see, I don't have friends. I have sisters. So
Oh,
they go understand anyway.
okay, she got
They
sisters.
go get up and go to the window and walk out the house. They gonna be like, oh, my sister is to go, I'm fit to go.
Yeah.
Oh, my sister not.
That's definitely your opinion. Let's get to Antonio because I gotta put mine out there now, Yashika.
You got bit boss lady to make you laugh. And as far to answer your question, I'm gonna tell you like how my uncles always told me. You can't worry about nothing that a female going to because at the end of the day, you don't got no control over that. The only thing you can control as a man is your heartbeat and your finances. So if I'm with somebody, then obviously I'm gonna trust them until they give me a reason not to trust them.
With your friend.
Oh yeah,
At
like
your
I said, because I mean, if it's meant to be, boss lady, it's meant to be. If not, cool.
Okay, so what would be your reaction if you walked in and they was doing the do, or they had done the do, or there was signs that they did the do? How would you react knowing that do you think you would look at it differently if you actually ever encountered that?
To be honest with you, nah.
You be
I mean, nah. I mean, with
because
me being a,
you believe that God showed you there for a reason? Because what's done in the dark come to the light.
oh yeah, most
You
definitely.
gotta
But
search for it.
oh yeah, I mean, like what's done in the dark definitely comes to the light. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm the type of guy to where I always have other women. And I
Oh,
say that and I say that respectfully. So it was like if I call like a woman who I was emotionally connected with cheating,
yeah.
it wouldn't really bother me like that. And I know some people may be like, oh, he capping, but seriously, I'm dead honest. There's a reason why they call me the worldwide boss player.
The
And
world.
I've said that in my songs.
Oh,
But the
okay.
reason
So not stopping you, but that leads into the next question. Do you believe, and we start with you because you just was the last one to talk on this one. So do you believe that everybody has a backup plan? Tell me how you feel about that, Antonio.
Oh hell yeah! Everybody got a backup plan, boss lady. I mean, if we going if we gonna be honest, and like I said, we gonna cut the bullshit.
But bullshit.
If we gonna be honest, every male and female
Female.
has at least additional contact in their phone. They may not act on it at
Right.
the moment,
But
but
they
at the same time, they got it on reserve.
exactly. Exactly. How you feel about that? We got 1 minute, you she could tell us because we got one more question after this.
Because I'm gonna be talking to this person. It's this called friends. Like, what if we're not together? Another that, like, I have friends. I'm pretty sure you have friends too. We're not together. I'm not yours. So you loud about me? It's the question. If not, I have friends. I'm just gonna be
Mhm.
honest.
Okay, so
That's it.
this the last question. Okay, and we got to go really fast. Okay, name your one couple role model, like your ideal couple role model, and start with you, Sheikah.
Self. 'Cause
Okay.
I can't think that fast. Self.
Okay, what about you, Antonio?
Benji and Mr. Moe.
Oh
Shout
my.
out to Mr. Moe McCoy. My brother, when you see this video, I know you gonna smile. I'm gonna fist bump you. You and Boss Lady, y'all are the ideal couple, man. I'm fucking. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there.
Oh, we gotta go. Thank you. This ended the episode 9 of That Is Your Opinion, hosted by Benji LynnYahweh, my co-host.